Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you are new on my channel, then welcome. Now before I get into today's video, every single time I start a video there's always something to say. There are no longer those annoying shadows behind my back. They used to drive me nuts. Now they're gone because I have a proper softbox now, so the lighting is just a tad bit better. I'm gonna stop talking now because honestly this video is gonna be even longer than the previous one because I have even more foundations to share with you today. Today's video is going to be a sequel to my previous upload. If you haven't seen the first part, my foundation collection video, that included all of my affordable and drugstore foundations. I will link it down below. But if you are here for the luxury and high-end foundations, then you've come to the right place. I think we should jump into the video because otherwise you guys are going to be here till Christmas. Now the way that I'm going to do this video is exactly the same way that I did my previous video. The outline is going to be exactly the same. I'm first going to give you some of the details of this foundation, and then I will give you my 2 cents on the foundation, whether I like it, whether I dislike it, do I agree with the claims that the foundation has. The first one is the Hourglass Vanish Seamless Finish Foundation Stick, and mine is in the shade Bisque. The American price is from the Hourglass website. The UK and the European prices are from John Lewis's website. The size of this product is not very big, especially if you take into consideration how expensive this foundation is. You only get 7.2 grams or 0.25 ounces. If this foundation is something that you're going to use every single day, it's not going to last you a very long time. The shade range is fairly decent. They have 26 shades. They mainly range from light to medium deep, but they only have a couple of very fair and deep tones. The coverage is meant to be buildable full, but in my opinion it is a high medium because once you blend it into the skin, it doesn't 100% cover all the breakouts and blemishes and all that kind of stuff. The finish is satin, or so to say seamless, so it's a natural finish foundation that's meant to look like a second skin. It's meant for all skin types, and it is a waterproof long-wearing foundation with a weightless formula, and it is also cruelty-free. The only negative thing that I have to say about this is that you don't get that much product in here. This is all the product you get. This is really creamy, so I feel like it's going to just go very quickly. Other than that, it really is a fantastic foundation. I love the way that it feels on my skin. I love the way that it glides on the skin. I love the way how it blends out. It really does look very natural. It melts into the skin in the most beautiful way. This foundation has gotten a lot of love and rave on the internet. That's absolutely justified in my opinion because it truly is a very good foundation, and I hands down recommend it if you have the money to splurge on it, and if you have other foundations that you can use as well, because as I said, if you're just going to use it every single day, you're going to run out of this pretty quickly. But yeah, other than that, it's great. The next foundation is the one that I'm wearing on my face at the moment. It is the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Invisible Color Stick Foundation, and mine is in the shade 120 or Y245 Soft Sand. If you look at the price point, it's slightly less expensive than the Hourglass Vanish Stick Foundation. The prices have been taken from the Makeup Forever US website, the UK price from Debenhams, and the European price from a German online distributor. Now the size of this, funnily enough, is almost twice as much as you get in the Vanish Stick Foundation. You get 12.5 grams or 0.44 ounces. They have 20 shades plus just a flat out white foundation stick. The shade range is strange. Some of them look straight up pink or orange or gray, and those kinds of really funny colors. I don't know, I just didn't know how to categorize them, but it seemed to me that the main range was from light to medium. The coverage in this is medium to full, which I agree with. The finish is natural or satin. It's meant for all skin types, meant to be invisible on 4K and also to the naked eye. It has a creamy texture and it's great for touch-ups. I have sprayed a shit ton of the NYX Dewy Face Mist, so that adds to the dewiness. But other than that, the foundation itself is kind of satiny and it has this natural look to it. I do like this foundation a lot. I think it looks beautiful on the skin. It covers very well. It blends into the skin really nice. I mean, it's not as creamy as the Vanish Stick one. This one needs just the slightest bit more work to blend it into the skin, but it's no biggie. I like everything about this foundation. The only thing that I was bummed about when I first got this was how small it was. From all the other videos that I had seen when people were, you know, reviewing this and testing this out, it looked a lot bigger on camera. I don't know, but for some reason I thought this was going to be like the same size as the liquid foundation, maybe slightly smaller, but you know, not as tiny as this. I don't know. Now, next up, keeping it in the same family, we have the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Invisible Cover Foundation. Mine is in the shade Y235 Ivory Beige. This costs as much as the stick foundation does. The US price is from the Makeup Forever US website again, the UK price from Debenhams, and again the European price from the German online distributor. The size of this is a regular 30ml, 1 fluid ounce. The shade range is impressive. They have 40 shades and there is a good shade range from fair to deep. The coverage is meant to be medium buildable, but in my opinion, it's just medium. The finish of this is natural. It's meant for all skin type. And again, it is invisible on 4K and to the naked eye. It's lightweight, it feels like a second skin, and it is long lasting. I'm kind of like so-so about this. I don't know, I mean, it's a decent foundation, but I just wasn't really blown away by it. I had such high expectations for this because of all the raving reviews. I was a bit let down. It wasn't anything too special on my skin. It didn't really cover up all that much. If I wanted to get a more full coverage effect, I really needed to build it up. I remember when I first got it, I used to mix in the Cover FX custom cover drops. That way I got the coverage that I needed. Otherwise, I just had to use like 5 or 6 pumps of this to get the coverage that I wanted to get. It does look nice on the skin, but I just feel like it takes so much effort. The Ultra HD stick does the job so much more quickly and looks even nicer on the skin than this one does. I would definitely go with the stick if you are considering either of those. Next up, we have one of my holy grails, and it is the Diorskin Star Foundation, and mine is in the shade 011 Creme. I'm terrible at pronouncing French words. It's basically cream, but it's like written in a fancy word, creme. You get the picture. Looking at the price, this foundation is definitely more on the luxury side already, but it's Dior, so it's kind of to be expected. The US price is from Macy's and the UK and the European prices are from Selfridges. The size of this is again regular. The shade range is kind of crappy. They only have 15 shades and those mainly range from fair to light medium. There are a couple of mediums and deeps. They could really improve the shade range. It's medium to full coverage. It has a natural or luminous kind of finish. It's meant for all skin types. It has SPF 30 in it. It gives a brightening effect to the skin and it has a lightweight formula. I absolutely love this foundation. As I mentioned already, this is one of my holy grails. I mean, everything about this foundation is just superb. The way that it blends on the skin, the way that it looks on the skin, the finish of this, the scent of this when you apply it. I know that not everyone is a fan of fragrance in their foundations. Normally, I would absolutely agree that putting fragrance in a foundation is completely unnecessary. It's more so like annoying and off-putting than it is pleasant. But for this one, it's the complete opposite. I really enjoy the scent in this. It's just so nice. If you have been following my channel for a while, you may have already known that I was going to talk about this. The Dior Airflash Spray Foundation, and mine is in the shade 100. The price of this is ridiculously high. US prices from Macy's and the UK prices from Selfridges. This is not sold in the EU. The size of this is pretty good. You get 70ml or 2.37 fluid ounces, but bear in mind this is a spray foundation, so you're going to use up a lot more of that, and that's why you need to have more product to begin with. The shade range is incredibly crappy. They have 12 shades from light to medium. In my opinion, there are no fair shades and there is only one medium deep shade. The one that I have, which is 100, I guess is considered to be like a fair shade, but it's kind of more on the light side. In my opinion, this has light to medium coverage because they do not specify it anywhere on the websites or anywhere about this foundation. Finish of this is radiant or, so to say, airbrushed. Again, this is just my opinion because they haven't specified, but I'd say that it is suitable for all skin types. It is meant to give you airbrushed perfection, has a silky and lightweight formula, and long wearing coverage. I'm not going to talk about this foundation for long at all because I have already done that several times. I'm just going to say that I do not like this foundation. I do not think it's worth the money. I do not think it's worth the hype. The only way that I get use out of this is when I spray it on a damp beauty blender and I go over a layer of like already existing liquid or stick foundation, because on its own it just doesn't really do anything for me. I'm going to use it up just because it cost me an arm and a leg, but I will never ever repurchase this foundation because I just do not see the point in this. No offense to people who are madly in love with this, because I know that there are a lot of people out there who are absolutely crazy about this foundation, and that's fair enough, but I'm just not one of those people. If you want to see a more in-depth review about this foundation and just in general a better explanation of why I do not like this foundation, then I will link a few videos down below. It's a no-go for me. Moving on to more positive opinions. Next up we have the Nars Sheer Glow Foundation, and mine is in the shade... I honestly cannot pronounce this name. I am terrible with French names, so I'm not even going to try. but you can see it on the screen. The US price is taken from Nars US website. The UK and European prices are from Selfridges. The size of this is again regular. The shade range is okay. They have 20 shades and they mainly range from light to medium deep, but there are only a few fair and really deep shades. It's meant to be a sheer buildable coverage, but honestly, in my opinion, that's complete bollocks. This is more like a medium buildable foundation. It's meant to give you a natural, radiant finish. It's ideal for normal to dry skin. It's meant to be hydrating. It has added antioxidants, turmeric extract. It is non-comedonic and fragrance-free. I have no idea whether I pronounced half of those things correctly, but anyway, I very much like the fact that this is a more medium buildable foundation because it just gives me the kind of coverage that I'm looking for. Even though I have not had this for a very long time, I reach for it so often that it's not even funny. It's slowly but surely making its way to the top of my holy grail foundations. Next up, we have another cult favorite, and it is the Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place makeup, and mine is in the shade 1W1 Bone. The US price is from Estee Lauder website and the UK and European prices are from Selfridges. The size of this is again regular. The shade range is very good. They have 38 shades which mainly range from light to deep, but they could add a few more fair shades in there. This is meant to be a medium to full coverage foundation. This is a matte finish foundation. It's targeted more so towards combination and oily skin types, but in my opinion, even if you have normal or slightly dehydrated skin, you can definitely pull this off as well. But if you have like flat out dry skin, then this might be way too drying for you. It's meant to be long wearing, lightweight, oil-free, fragrance-free, oil controlling, and non-acnogenic. I remember first getting this foundation and thinking that this is like God's gift on earth, but honestly now I really don't ever reach for it anymore, and there are several reasons for it. It's really heavy. I do not see how this is a medium foundation. This to me is like a full-on full coverage foundation. I find it funny that they say it's a lightweight formula because this is not lightweight. You can absolutely feel this on the face, and even though I have normal to dry skin, this clings onto my dry patches pretty bad. That's why I said if you have dry skin, I do not think it would be too good for you. I did love it at first, but now I just think there are so many other foundations that look better and feel better on the skin than this one does. Next up is the YSL Touche Eclat foundation, and mine is in the shade B20 Ivory. Now all of the prices that you can see are taken from the YSL website. The size of this, again, regular. They have 22 shades, which mainly range from light to medium deep. There are only a few fair shades and a few deep shades. It is a medium coverage foundation with a natural or radiant finish. In my opinion, it is suitable for all skin types, but because this foundation contains oil, I do not know how combination or oily skin would feel about this one. It has SPF 22, it's lightweight, long-lasting, and enriched with Ruscus extract and vitamin E. I don't know where to begin. This foundation used to be one of my holy grails, and I still do like it. I just don't think it's my holy grail anymore. Again, for the simple reason that I have tried several other foundations after getting this one. I just enjoy some other foundations slightly more. The one thing that drives me nuts about this foundation is the scent of this. It kind of smells like old lady perfume, and no offense to the old ladies out there, but it's just not a pleasant scent in my opinion. Next up we have the Tarte Amazonian Clay 12-Hour Full Coverage Foundation, and mine is in the shade Fair Sand. All of the prices are taken from the Tarte website, as they do ship to the UK and also some other European countries. The size of this is almost double the size that you get in a normal liquid foundation. So you get 50 ml or 1.7 fluid ounces, 25 shades, which mainly range from fair to medium deep. There are only a few deep shades, so there's again room for improvement. This is meant to be full coverage, but in my opinion, it's like medium buildable. Gives you a natural matte finish, ideal for normal or combination to oily skin. It has SPF 15, it's long wearing, hypoallergenic, oil controlling, oil free, cruelty free, and vegan. I don't have anything specifically bad to say about this foundation. It's just that some of the aspects of the formula make it not look as great on my skin as it maybe does on some other people. It's definitely a very moussey kind of texture. For that reason, I feel like it blends out very nicely, but it kind of sits on the skin. It really emphasizes the dry areas, and I think it's because of the moussey texture. I still use it, and I think it's a nice foundation, and the fact that you get almost twice the amount of like a regular liquid foundation, I think it's amazing. So Next up, we have another cult favorite, and it is the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation, and mine is in the shade 3. The American and the UK price are from the Armani Beauty website. The European price is from the Brown Thomas website. It's again regular size. The shade range is decent. They have 24 shades. They have a fairly good range from light to deep shades. There could be a few more fair shades. It's light to medium coverage with a natural luminous finish, suitable for all skin types. It's luminous, lightweight, has a silky texture, and it's long lasting. I absolutely adore this foundation. It's just so effortless, and it's so beautiful, and it's like naturally radiant and healthy looking. That is why I don't mind that it's such a light coverage foundation. I feel that it looks so beautiful on the skin, and it feels so nice on the skin because of the lightweight and silky texture. I absolutely agree with all of the hype that it has gotten. We're almost done, I promise. Next up, we have the Illamasqua Rich Liquid Foundation, and mine is in the shade 140. The US prices from the Illamasqua website, and the UK and European prices are from Beauty Bay. Again, regular size. They have 12 shades plus just a plain white shade. The shades mainly range from light to medium tan. There is one fair shade and one very deep shade, and that's it. This is a full coverage foundation, and honestly, they ain't kidding, because this is the most full coverage foundation that I have ever tried in my life. It's meant to have a semi-matte finish, but in my opinion, it's just flat out matte. They haven't specified, so in my opinion, this is ideal for combination to oily skin, just because of its matte finish. It has a long-lasting formula, it's easily blendable, water-resistant, oil-controlling, and cruelty-free. Two of the things that I hands down agree with is that this is a full coverage foundation, which it absolutely is. I mean, this is crazy coverage. You only need the tiniest amount imaginable, and it will cover up your whole face. And the other thing, this is very water resistant. I couldn't get it off my hand. I had to use soap, I had to use a makeup remover, and then some soap again, and that's when I finally got it out of my hand. I'm telling you, it's no joke. It will sink into your skin and it will stay there. No amount of water will take it off. So if you're looking for a foundation that will cover up everything, look no further. This is your guy. Hey, we have made it to the end of this video. I swear, I feel like I've been sitting in front of this camera for 2 days. Last, but definitely not the least, is the Too Faced Born This Way foundation, and mine is in the shade Ivory. All of the prices have been taken from the Too Faced website, but bear in mind that in Europe, this is only available in selected Sephoras. The size of this is again regular. Shade range is very decent. They have 24 shades. They mainly range from fair to deep, but they could add more medium and tan shades. Has medium to full coverage, gives you a natural radiant finish. In my opinion, this is ideal for normal to dry or dry skin, since I feel that it's quite a hydrating foundation. It has undetectable coverage. It's infused with coconut water, alpine rose, and hyaluronic acid. It's oil-free, cruelty-free, and vegan. I love this foundation. It is definitely up there when it comes to my favorite foundations. It looks so nice on the skin. It lasts a really long time. Every single time I wear this foundation, I always have a good skin day. I love this. I highly recommend this, and I think it's worth the hype. This is it, guys. Those were all of my high-end and luxury foundations. I very much hope that this video was somewhat helpful to you guys, and that it wasn't way too long. Those of you who are still watching, who have made it to this point in the video, I just want to give you a huge hug. I am very sorry if this video wasn't very entertaining. Hopefully the next one will be better. Thanks again for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel. Hopefully I'll see you in my next video. Bye. This foundation has gotten so much love and rave on the internet. It tastes very, because it was like a